Hello and welcome to Reality TV Cringe. I am Delia, one of your hosts, the redhead, here with my real tight homegirl and my daughter-in-law, Beatrice.
Hi.
Miss B.
Bitch.
We are here because a lot of you called in to sound off about Sister Wives and also, I guess, Vanderpump Rules.
Yeah, we did get one message about
Okay, well, we're
Vanderpump.
going to be talking about a little bit of the VPR. Now, before we get into it, we do have to remind you to please hide your wife and hide your kids. This is a politically incorrect podcast that does not talk politics. You can't make us.
Period.
We're not going to do it. Don't even try.
Don't
we're not
even
going to
try
do it.
Don't even try it.
However, we do swear a lot.
Yeah.
Especially her. She's a
Wow.
Zoomer.
Okay.
And we say a lot of stupid things. Especially
her.
me.
Yeah.
I'm an Xer. But if you're sensitive,
Go
if you don't
away.
like to hear controversial opinions or profanity,
Diaper
then you might
baby.
want to find yourself another dumpster.
Bye.
But if you're ready to get in the dumpster and have a convo with other raccoons, welcome, to this dumpster.
Ooh. And if you want to join us in the dumpster, be sure to follow us on Instagram
It's fun.
at Reality TV Cringe.
La, la, la. La.
And join us on Patreon. Patreon.com/Reality TV Cringe. That's like the biggest dumpster of them all. We just started covering 1,000-Pound Best Friends on there. And it's fucking awesome.
We're also covering a couple of key episodes of My 600 Pound Babe.
Yeah.
And we are continuing to dive into couples therapy with
Yes.
Dr. Orna, which
We
you can
love
watch on
her.
Showtime or Paramount Plus. And we love that shit
Oh my God.
so much.
We geek out.
It is all on our Patreon.
Yeah.
Now, if you are watching on YouTube, please don't forget, we really need you out here in a clutch. If you could, like and comment and share and subscribe. Any little thing that you do is magic, Heidi, and it
Yeah.
helps us in the algorithm.
Thank you.
So thank you in advance. Now, if you want to give us a call and sound off and tell us your opinion, all you have to do is go to speakpipe.com/reality TV cringe. It's something you do on your phone or in your computer or whatever. Can you do it on your computer?
Yeah.
So just do it. It's not like a phone call. Just go to the website.
Yeah.
And you'll figure it out.
You record it.
Yeah, and you have 90 seconds. And you can say whatever you want. It's completely free, and we love to hear from you.
We do.
So if you want to call us, give us a ringy dingy.
Yeah.
All right, who's the first person to call us, babe?
First person we have is a twofer because she had a long point.
Okay.
Her name is Amanda.
Amanda.
Yeah.
Hey ladies, this is Amanda coming to you from the dumpster of Ohio. I love your podcast and I listen every week, and it's my favorite Sister Wives podcast. And I feel like you guys have a great balance of calling out these fools while also giving them some grace, whether they deserve it or not. And I appreciate that. I just want to say that this last episode, episode 20, they were all really getting to me. I think after watching this whole season and seeing how they have just been ignoring everything that happened with Garrison and not even addressing it has just really gotten to me. It was so clear to me in this episode that Cody was very emotional for reasons other than the baptism. And Janelle was running off to North Carolina when, clearly Garrison had already passed when she was leaving. She's leaving, and several of her kids are still there, and she's just going to live with Maddie and pursue her dreams. And I don't really feel like it's great that she was leaving without telling Cody. I don't think she owes him anything. I really don't understand why Janelle did not communicate with Cody about her leaving unless she was afraid for some reason. I just feel like it's so selfish and irresponsible and honestly kind of childish for her to not communicate with the father of her children, even though many of them are adult children who all live near him now. She lives across the country. If anything were to happen, especially with Savannah, who is, technically an adult, but still very young and probably just living on her own or with one of her siblings. You know, to have that great of a distance from your kids and for their dad to not even know that you've moved is just seems very odd to me. And I know she's probably thinking that Christine can kind of help in her stead, but she's the parent and Cody's the parent, and they need to parent and be there for their children. And I just think I know that we're not owed anything about Garrison's passing, but it's just so odd to watch all of these things happening in the wake of his passing and for it to not be addressed in any way, shape, or form. It pisses me off.
Is that how it ends?
Yeah.
Okay, one minor, I think, correction would be that Janelle actually left for North Carolina in January of 2024 before Garrison passed. And even in the last episode, she says she's leaving behind Gabe and Garrison and Savannah. So she names Garrison specifically. So at that time, Garrison was still alive. But Amanda, you're making an interesting point about Savannah, because Savannah would have just turned 18, maybe almost 19 years old.
Right.
She's still a young lady. I'm sure she's going to school in the area. I'm wondering if she moved in with Garrison and Gabe, or like one of her brothers in the area. I don't know. But like, yeah, as a mom, I would have a very hard time leaving my child at that age, even though they're an adult. It would be one thing if she left me, which obviously she did. She moved out and she, you know, started her life with you.
Right.
That's excellent. That's the way that it should be. But I would not have left her in Texas and moved to
Out of
fucking Chicago to go start a new life with my kid over here after
Right.
I moved her here.
Right.
And Gabe too. Because
Yeah.
even though Gabe is 22, 23, like Gabe didn't want to come to Flagstaff.
Exactly.
He wanted to stay in Vegas and finish his senior year of high school. You forced him to move to Flagstaff, much to his mental health detriment.
Yeah.
And now you're just going to leave him here? Even though he's an adult technically,
Yeah.
I don't really respect that either.
Yeah, and like I guess I come from more of a personal thing with that. I kind of agree with Amanda on this because I was a child where my family totally left me here. And I'm 28. My family left me when I was 26, but like they moved me out to Texas. I moved out, I did my own thing, came back to Texas, and then my family was like, peace. And so now I'm by myself here. So, you know, there's like a little feeling of like, man, I guess my family wants to do their own thing and is leaving me out here. But like at the same time, all of her kids are adults. So maybe they're all doing their own thing.
No, but I think you're speaking to kind of what we're talking about. Like, even though you were 26 years old when your parents left the place that they forced you to come to.
Yeah.
You're 26, you still feel abandoned to some degree. And so imagine Savannah, so much more younger,
Exactly.
like just starting her college career. And that's very traumatic for kids to have to go through. And like, you're her mom and you're leaving. And I don't want to be overly judgmental, but that does seem like a lot. Now, I love Amanda's point about Cody expressing emotions during the baptism fake scripted scene. Like, and us wondering like, why, where's that coming from? Like, why are you inserting your emotional process into this scene? And I do think it's because just 2 weeks previous to that, Garrison passed.
Yep.
And this is the emotion we're seeing from Cody. And this is really, I think, all we're going to get until the tell-alls.
I know, exactly. And I wonder if they're even going to ask about Garrison at the tell-alls.
Oh my God, they'd better.
I mean, yeah, but if we're getting a whole season where all we got was a disclaimer on episode 1, and that's it, and we have Garrison literally edited out of all of the footage, like, I don't know if we're going to get much out of them. And like, we've talked about this in our recaps. Like, I understand to an extent of like not wanting to get into all of the details about Garrison's passing because it was so traumatic. And I understand like if the family was in a weird turbulent time where everyone was fighting with each other and then this happens, like I get not wanting to air out all of that dirty laundry because it is really fresh and really awful. But at the same time, to not even mention him and to act like he doesn't even really exist. And we're not going to talk about why Cody's crying in this scene. We're not going to talk about like Janelle's feelings and all of this either. Like, because I think some of these Talking Heads with Janelle are filmed after his passing, and we don't see any emotion from her.
No.
And I'm not trying to criticize Janelle on that at all, because that's all editing and shit like that. But it's like, I want to see you guys be human, and I want you guys to talk about this thing that happened, but we're just going to act like it didn't happen.
Well, back like when we went to school, well, it didn't happen when I was going to school. Maybe when you went to school, high school, and one of the kids in your school passed away, or there was some sort of a tragic accident, and then you'd have like a big meeting in the gymnasium, and they'd bring in therapists, or if you need a therapist, all you have to do is let us know, and we're here for you. It's like, take that idea and extrapolate that out to like the millions of people who watch this show, and who, many of whom have dealt with something like unaliving yourself. And I'm sorry I have to say it that way, but we are censored if we say the different word. But like many of us, including us, have dealt with a family member who have unalived themselves. We have trauma. That trauma comes back up when we are watching a show where this is happening. And even if you don't have previous trauma, I think there's a lot of us out there that were traumatized by what happened, because a lot of you grew up with Garrison watching the show. A lot of you are mamas watching these little kids on this show, and we watched every single season. And now you're asking this fan base who has an emotional connection, whether you like it or not, TLC.
Right.
We have an emotional connection, and now we're having traumatic responses throughout the audience. You just want to like pretend Garrison didn't exist.
Right.
And again, as Amanda says, I know we're not owed anything.
Yeah.
But at the same time, aren't we? Aren't we the ones that keep watching? Aren't we the ones that are funding this entire enterprise? Aren't we the ones that have prayed for you, have followed you, who have supported you in all of your business endeavors? Hasn't that been us? And this is what we get?
Right.
That's unfair to me.
Yep. We get a produced Baptismal storyline with Aurora. Like, we care. And Cody crying over a baptism, but we know we think it's because of Garrison. And it's like, why can't we elaborate on that? If Suki doesn't ask
a question like she would
Garrison,
have to.
I mean, that would be crazy to me. That would make me not want to watch the show anymore. Honestly, like if we get through this whole fucking season, which is so long.
Oh my God, the never-ending season.
I mean, holy shit, we're on a hiatus.
I know.
A mid-season hiatus right now. Like, if we get through this whole fucking season and we don't mention him at all, I don't know if I'm going to want to watch, because, like, what the fuck are we doing? Are we just going to have more produced storylines in season 21 and we just pretend like Garrison never existed? That's crazy to me.
It's just so unfair and unkind to Garrison's memory. Like, this young man struggled with what happened with his family, struggled with the loss of his father.
Yep.
And there are some inherent intrinsic problems with the structure of this family, how it is unfair and unequal. It impacts the children. I think Garrison is an example of this, and we're just not going to explore that as a television show, like
at all.
It's just I feel like there is not a debt that TLC owes, but like there's just a responsibility that they have to like talk about the whole thing. Not just the part that you want to curate and pretend is happening. Oh, we're going to North Carolina. We're going to this storage facility somewhere in Arizona. Okay, I get it. But like these bigger, huge issues, that's what we should be focusing on.
Agreed.
It drives me crazy.
It drives me
Amanda,
crazy too.
I totally agree.
And what do you think about our last point about Janelle moving to North Carolina and not telling Cody?
I get it. Like, if it were a functioning and healthy co-parenting relationship with someone who was not unconscious and a total massive asshole, then of course we'd have conversations. We would talk about it. Does she owe it to him? She does not. If she had talked to him about it, would that have been reasonable? Yes. But the fact she didn't, is that also reasonable? Yes. I feel like she is just cutting the, as we call in Hawaii, the aka cord. She's like, I'm cutting these cords. You don't have any access to me whatsoever. We're not having that final conversation. You don't need closure from me. I already said no. No is a full sentence and answer, and I'm out. So I respect it personally.
Me too.
I don't think she owes that man. He stole from her, robbed them all blind. He has said the worst most vile shit about this woman
Yep.
to her face and on camera, like, yeah, no.
Well, and he's a narcissist. So, like, she's kind of going no contact and being like, yeah, you don't fucking need to know anything about my life. So, peace out. So, I feel like that's fair and valid. I mean, I would understand the point of, like, telling him if the kids were younger. But since they are all adults, like, they can function on their own. Does Cody really need to know? And is Cody really involved in any of Janelle's kids'
No.
lives? Like, no.
Remember, after the Christmas fight with Janelle and Cody, it was months upon months that he even reached out and or inquired about Savannah, who was at
Exactly.
the time still a minor. He does not care.
Not at
So
all.
if you don't care, plus you're a narcissist, I don't need to engage with that. That's
Yeah.
toxic, it's unhealthy, and I'm not going to be a part of it.
Yeah.
So
But, like, at the same time, like, should have Janelle left all of her kids in Vegas while she goes to, or sorry, Flagstaff? while she
no,
goes to
no,
North
and
Carolina?
that's different to
Yeah.
me. Like, she has a different relationship and bond
Exactly.
with her children.
Yeah,
And as a mother, that hits different for me.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, good points, Amanda.
Yes,
Thank you
thank
for your
you.
call. Next one we have is Jill.
Jill.
Hello, Beatrice and Delia. First, let me tell you how much I love and appreciate everything you guys do. You are rock stars. This is Jill, a squirrel calling from a dumpster in always hot Mesa, Arizona. Just want to give you a little bit of my knowledge about the non denominational Christian church. I am guessing that is the church that Aurora and Brianna are attending, some form of non denominational Christianity. In that church, they do not require the baptizer to be any sort of a priest or ordained in any way. If you have been baptized by immersion, you are then able to baptize somebody else. So if your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your best friend, the person who is your mentor, or your pastor, any of those are able to baptize you as long as they have already previously been baptized by immersion. And we do know that Cody, being a member of the LDS Church, was baptized by immersion, which would then make him eligible to baptize anybody else in this particular church. This is just my guess. Thought I'd give you a little tidbit of what I knew. Keep doing what you're doing. I appreciate you ladies so much, and I'll be listening. Have a great day.
Thank you, Jill.
Yeah,
Some information.
interesting. I mean, I still don't get why Cody's allowed to baptize when he's a literal demon, but
And not in the same religion. Like,
yeah, it's weird, right?
it's okay. What if I'm fully immersed in the Church of Satan?
Right.
Does that mean I can come into
Yeah.
your charismatic Christian church or your Assemblies of God church and baptize a person? Like, it just feels a little weird to me. I actually come from non-denominational Christianity, charismatic Christianity, Calvary chapels, First Assemblies of God. Like, I've been part of everything, goody. You name it, I've been a part of it.
Fancy.
On the Christian side of things. So when I was baptized, I was actually baptized by somebody who was not a pastor at the time, but he had
really?
been baptized. Yeah, so I do understand like how they do things. And when you take it back to the scripture, and Jesus was baptized by John the Baptist, and like John the Baptist wasn't a reverend per se.
Yeah.
Like, I get the historical order of that. But my problem is with the fact that Cody would waltz into I think, First Assembly of God Church. I think that's where she's going.
Is that non-denominational?
It's Pentecostal. I think that's a denomination. And I could be wrong about the church. I could be getting that totally wrong. I don't think I am. But like, it's just odd to me that as an LDS Mormon or somebody questioning his faith and whether he even believes would be able to go into a church like that and participate. I mean, if we zoom out and we say, well, but also he's her father, he loves her, he wants to give his blessing in her spiritual. I could see how he might be invited into the process, but it's still a little strange to me.
It's weird. I mean, I grew up really Christian, but we had like a really poor church. Like, I don't even know what our denomination was because we were assembling in the back of a high school. Like, we were that poor.
I was in high schools too.
Yeah, and so we had baptisms and stuff. I never got baptized because I was afraid of going under the water.
Oh, sweet baby.
I know,
Really?
I was.
You don't want the water to go up your nose?
I was so afraid of it. Well,
Yeah.
because my cousin tried to drown me when I was 4.
Well, okay.
So I didn't want to do
that
that.
makes sense.
But my pastor always did the baptisms. Like, he was the only one that was allowed to. So, like, even when he was not at the church and somebody wanted to get baptized, he would be called and he would be. So, I don't know. But I just think, like, Cody, it's so icky for him to baptize Aurora. And, like, if Aurora is genuinely serious about this whole, like, non-denominational, Pentecostal, whatever Christian journey she's on, Like, why would you want somebody as evil as Cody to baptize you? I feel like that would taint your
Well, because she doesn't
spirit.
see him that way.
I
She
know.
sees him as a father. She sees him
Well,
as
we all
somebody
see
who
him.
subsidizes her entire life, and she's
Yeah.
bought the Kool-Aid. She's drunk the Kool-Aid of her mother, and so she's a traumatized individual who is disoriented and confused about who this man is.
It's embarrassing.
It is icky, though. That's the right word. I
Yeah.
mean, so I think he probably has a basis to be there, but like I think
Ew.
it's icky that he is there.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Jill, for your insight on that.
Thank you, Jill.
Next one we have is from Julienne.
Julianne.
Hey ladies, it is Jillian here calling from the suburban dumpsters of Chicago. I'm calling because I'm infuriated. I'm fed up with Cody and Robyn and how they are abusing Brianna and Aurora. It is sickening. These are two narcissistic parents who have no true love for these girls. They know how to use these girls. They know how to manipulate these girls. And they think, oh, well, because we provide food and shelter, we're entitled to use and abuse them as we see fit. The crying is astonishing. And the only reason why I say that is because I myself can relate. You have a very low threshold for dealing with real life when you've got narcissistic parents. And all they're doing is using these girls. And the infantilization, making the fact that these girls feel the need to beg for acceptance and approval at this point in their lives is absolutely sickening. Robyn and Cody should be ashamed of themselves, and those girls need to be rescued, and so do the little ones, the tenders, as they call them. Thanks so much. Hope you guys are well. Take care.
Thank you. Is it Julianne?
Yeah.
Like vegetables? Julianne vegetables? Oh my gosh, I love it. What do you think about that?
I mean, I do think that these kids are being manipulated and probably abused emotionally, but I don't think they realize they are. I think they're under the Kool-Aid, like you said. They're totally under the spell. They don't realize what they're experiencing is toxic. They would need fucking therapy to realize that kind of stuff. And I don't think they're going to get therapy because they got two narcissistic parents that also need therapy but don't go to therapy. And they're just going to be stuck in this household until they wake up and realize, like, oh, fuck, my parents are literal demons who have robbed all of these women of all this money, and they have completely destroyed our entire family and, fucked our lives over.
Yes. But I take issue with Julian saying that Robyn and Cody don't love these kids. Now, you can be a very broken person. You can lack a lot of morality and a lot of integrity. But I think even narcissists can love their children. Now, it might be a fucked up way to love somebody.
Like
a warped way, a conscious or an unconscious way to express love to somebody. But I mean, I wouldn't go so far as to say that I feel like Robyn loves her kids.
Yeah.
I think Robyn is doing a lot of what she's doing to set her kids up. I think she wants all of those plots on Coyote Pass, one for each of her children. Honey, I think she genuinely loves them. Does Cody love the kids? To the degree that he can love anything other than himself.
Right.
I wonder whether Aurora and Brianna and Dean actually get to watch the show.
Yeah.
It feels to me like they don't watch the show in the house. Remember during the lookbacks when they were filming from the McMansion, how pissed off Robyn looked? Like she had to be dragged into the room and asked questions, and she did not seem happy to be there. It feels to me like those kids have probably never been able to see the show and gain an outside perspective of what's actually happening on. So they don't hear what Maddie has to say. They don't hear what Janelle has to say. But if they did, I wonder how they'd feel. And I actually wonder whether Dayton has had an opportunity to see something. Because again, for some reason, he's not filming, at least in 2024. He's not filming with them anymore. I'm just wondering if he was able to see the show and get a different opinion.
I wonder that too. And actually, that brings up a memory of mine that I saw a Reddit post not too long ago of, I think, Brianna's Pinterest page, and she was pinning some kind of passive aggressive things that were about like fucked up parents and
Yes.
fucked up families and stuff like that. And people were insinuating that it was about Robyn and Cody, and like maybe she was finally waking up to some of their bullshit. But that would make sense if they are just kept from the show. And maybe Robyn and Cody see that as a way of protecting their kids and protecting them from the publicity and the negativity, because what they have is fine right now, but it's because the kids only know Cody and Robyn's perspective. They don't know anybody else's. They don't get to see anyone else's voices. They just know what Cody and Robyn tell them is going on. I do think you're right, though. Robyn does love her kids, but I do think she's really emotionally manipulative.
Yes.
And so she does, you know, love them in the way that she wants them to act. Like, so she molds them into what she wants them to be like. I mean, like Aurora looks exactly like Robyn. It's like crazy. And, you know, some of that can be normal, but some of that is like totally manipulation. So I don't know. There's some weird shit going on in that house with those vampire kids.
Well, you know they say she's a witch, right? And
Yeah.
She practices the witchcraft.
Right. She's
Now, I'm not saying that
spells.
she does, but maybe she's casting spells. Who
Maybe
knows?
she
Maybe those children are under a spell.
Oh my God, maybe they are.
Sleeping in coffins in the basement with the haunted dolls, Hetty, and the Dickensian village.
Sleeping in coffins. We're so terrible.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
But it's true, though. I mean,
sorry.
thanks, Julianne, for
Thank you very much.
your message. All right, next one we have is from Jess.
Jess!
Hi, Beatrice and Delia. This is Jessica calling in from a dumpster in cold Southgate, Michigan. I am currently rewatching Sister Wives from season 1, episode 1. And I just don't understand how these D-list celebrities have managed to fail at being marketable, at being somebody with a large social media presence. Like, they just have failed drastically. Like, where is their PR team? So what I want to know is, I was looking back at the episode where Cody says they're living in Las Vegas and they don't have anybody reaching out to them saying they want to do Sunday service at their house in Las Vegas. It's like, how hard is it to create a social media profile and then invite people? Like, they are such victims. They're not self-starters. Like, go out and get it. Why don't they have tons of Instagram sponsorships, TikTok sponsorships? Why aren't they capitalizing on their branding and marketing? Like with Sister Wives Closet, going back and watching those stupid ass episodes. Like, there was so much potential for shit to be good, and they just fail at every fucking thing. And I don't know how. So I guess my question is, how are they this terrible? What advice would you have given them if you were a public relations team and during the time when they were launching My Sister Wife's Closet, and or when being sponsored or endorsed as a, D-list celebrity became a thing? Thanks. Have a great day, girls.
Listen, I don't know if it's just absolutely no business acumen, no vision. Like the people perish for a lack of vision. That's the Bible, Hoodie. You don't have a vision and you don't have that mapped out for yourself. Like, how are you ever going to get where you want to go? I just felt like they were drinking from a fire hose.
Yeah.
Like, all this shit was coming their way. They had TLC. All of a sudden, we're moving to Vegas. Now we get to move to Flagstaff. They're just going with the flow. They're not intentional people. They do not have a vision, nor do they know how to create a vision. Even though, again, Robyn is a witch.
Yeah.
And so she
is
should
a
know
witch.
how to conjure her own future, but she doesn't.
Well, I will correct you. Robyn does have a vision. She has a vision for My Sister Wife's Closet that is
okay.
going to bring the family together.
Okay, is that a vision?
Yeah, it is
Or
a
is that a
vision.
delusion? I feel like that's a delusion.
A delusion is a type of vision.
It is. It is.
So, I mean, she does have a vision, but it's how to execute it. I think they're all lazy. Like you said earlier in our recap earlier this week, how Robyn just expected to be the creative talent and everybody else does all the work for her. But it's like, even then, My Sister Wife's Closet was a failure from the start. Nobody's going to buy this ugly fucking jewelry that is all about your brand. Like, when all of the designs are absolute dog shit. Like, you have ball sack necklaces, and then you have weird phoenixes that don't look like phoenixes. They just look like squished up pennies on a fucking necklace. It's like crazy that they thought that this would ever work out. And so to Jess's point, like, what would my advice be? I don't know. Cody, shut the fuck up. Robyn, stop with your dumb ideas and sell t-shirts.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. It's as simple as that. T-shirts
Actually,
and mugs.
simplify. That
Seriously.
would be what my message would be. Simplify,
Yeah.
also therapy.
Yeah.
Simplify
Also
and get some
therapy.
therapy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Actually, you can't therapize an arc.
Right.
So simplify. But they are poor people who got money fast.
Yeah.
So what is the saying? Money talks, wealth whispers, honey.
Yes.
So they get the money and now they're out here getting labels. And Robyn, I mean, people are clocking her jackets, her shoes, and like how much she's paying for all of her American Girl dolls, Cody's jacket. Like they're spending money. That's what they think is important. They're very much invested in the presentation of success and money without really knowing the inner workings of how to sustain and maintain that. Like if you're a wealthy person, oh, I'm going to have to live within my fucking means. I'm going to have to save. I'm going to have to budget. Like wealthy people are often very frugal.
Yep.
Cody's not frugal. Robyn's not frugal because they're poor ass people who happen to be in a season of money.
Yep.
But when the money runs out, honey,
Girl.
when that fire hose turns off, I just want to be a fly on the wall, a raccoon
God.
in the dumpster on the top, just perched, honey,
Oh my
watching with my monocle. Like, what are you people going to do now?
Yes.
What are you going to do now?
Oh my God. I wonder if Cody and Robyn now like fight a lot over money, because how can they afford the shit that they have right now? They got to be selling some of those investments, that ugly ass art that they bought.
They're not selling anything. They don't have to because TLC is giving them 30 episodes.
Right.
So they're rolling in the dough right now. But again, this is a season of money. They don't spend their money wisely. They don't have great business ideas. You've got Robyn out here buying doll clothes to the tune of $60,000, which feels like an echo of Victoria's Secret in the amount of $17,000, $30,000, whatever it was. Like she's got a problem.
Yep.
And so she's in a season of money. But when that money stops, and it will.
It will.
It's gonna.
I can't wait.
We'll just see what happens.
Oh my God. Bankruptcy.
Simplify. If my advice would be simplify, get out of debt. And I feel like they're trying to I would say try to rehab your image. I feel like they're trying to do that, but nothing is going to work.
No.
Nothing at this point is going to work.
No way.
Not after the passing of Garrison. Not after your wives have left you.
Nope. Everybody fucking hates Cody and Robyn.
Yep.
So there's nothing.
And rightly so.
Oh, of course.
Valid.
Yes, they are hateable. So thank you, Jess, for your call.
Thanks, John.
Next one we have is from is from Beth.
Beth.
Yeah.
Beth.
Hello, my beautiful raccoons. This is Beth, and I'm coming to you from a dumpster in Pittsburgh. And I'm leaving this because I'm absolutely and completely outraged by a video I saw from Miss Katie Joy. Without a crystal ball, don't come for me. But she seems to have come with receipts on this one that Robyn Brown has spent $61,000 on baby clothes, and not for a real baby. No, for a baby doll. I'm sorry, baby doll clothes. So if this is true, can you imagine how this must feel to the wives knowing this? Because I'm sure they know. And I'm starting to think that the reason that the wives absolutely loathe Mary is because she brought this train wreck trash into their home, who is now going absolutely crazy on Etsy, buying period baby clothes, like from Bridgerton. Like, what? I can't. I think I'm done. I can't do it anymore. I can't take it anymore. If this is true, where do we go from here, raccoons? Where do we go from here?
Beth, it's true.
It is true.
You know it's true.
61,000. That's higher than I thought. I thought it was
Yeah.
just 60. Oh my God, girl. It's just going to keep
1,000, 10,000. I mean,
too
even
much.
that amount would be egregious. The fact that she's got fuck you money to that,
Yeah.
or she thinks she does have fuck you money to that extent is wild. And yeah, I'm sick of it too, because you hate to see wicked people prosper.
Yeah.
You have to ask the question, why God? Why not me? I'm a good person out here.
Right.
Come on, why don't prosper me? Why don't you prosper me? But
Right.
this is where we're at. She's a deplorable person who spends her money not on her children that she says she loves. And I'm talking about Christine's children.
You're right.
And Mary's children and Janelle's children, but she spends it on doll clothes. I just can't.
Doll clothes.
I just can't.
It's absolutely insane. That's why I wonder, I'm like, how much money did they have, like, liquid from, like, TLC and all of the other wives? Because if you're spending 61 grand on Etsy, like you're blowing through all of that cash unless you're taking out multiple credit cards. People do a bunch of like things where they move money around, and so I'm just wondering when that money's gonna dry out. I really can't wait for it. I want to know how much money they're gonna end up in debt. Like if she had 30 grand from Victoria's Secret debt on a credit card, like imagine how much debt she's got now. And you know, to your other point, Beth, about the other wives hating Mary, I can see that. I can see why they would be annoyed with Mary. I mean, Mary's also annoying.
Right.
And
Objectively.
Mary is like totally overbearing and super critical and stuff. And she probably would have been a hard personality to get along with. But all that aside, like the fact that she was the one allegedly that brought Robyn into the family and then she literally ruined the family, like, yeah, I'd be like, fuck you, Mary.
I guess.
I would. I'd be like, fuck you. But
I don't know.
now they're all kind of joining together because Mary finally woke the fuck up and worthied up and got
allegedly.
a little bit, yeah.
Right. Allegedly.
But during the time, I could see it. I could see why they would hate her for that.
They could have said no, presumably. I mean, I would imagine it would take 4 yeses in order to onboard Robyn. And if 1 or 2 of the other wives said no, I would imagine that they wouldn't have done it. So I feel like everybody agreed. I feel like everybody was complicit. Maybe Christine very begrudgingly.
Yeah.
But the spectacle of that much money on doll clothes, just the reality that like you and I are out here, you know, pinching our pennies, buying our $9 dozen of eggs and like
Seriously.
trying to just stay alive in
Yeah.
this economy, bitch. And you've got Robyn out here just buying whatever the fuck she wants. Remember during the pandemic, during their Halloween trick-or-treating, they opened the door and there were boxes and boxes and boxes behind Robyn and Cody. And it's all the shit. It's all the dolls.
Yep.
It's all the Dickensian village. It's all of the gun shit. I mean, the amount of things they have is obscene.
Yep. And this is why the wives should all join up in a lawsuit, because I feel like you have all of this footage and stuff.
They're not going to want to do it.
No.
They're not going to want to go through discovery. They're not going to want to have their ass hanging out in front of everybody. So they're going to settle with you. Like,
Right.
that is what you should do.
I know. I want them to do that. But will they?
No.
Probably not. But anyway, thank you, Beth, for your message. And
Beth, you are awesome.
you are great.
You are awesome.
And the last one we have is from an anonymous raccoon.
Uh-oh. You know, I get nervous.
I know, but this one's good. This is
I get
about
trepidation.
it's about VPR.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, this is it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Hey raccoons, it's Anonymous from Toronto, Canada. Since Sister Wives has been on hiatus, I have been digging through the archives of your podcast to revisit old episodes. I listen while I work, cook, and commute, and I have done since the inception of your podcast. I'm an OG raccoon. I have always skipped your Vanderpump Rules episodes because I, as a Canadian, do not get Bravo unless I pay for cable, and I'm not about to do that. But Netflix just dropped only season 3 and 4, and I'm hooked. I know you hate him, Dee, but I know nothing about him, and I can't help but be attracted to him, at least until I know more. Who am I talking about, Dee? Who am I talking about? It's Tom Sandoval. I've always been attracted to tall, dark, handsome, and weird-looking men. Oh, especially weird. His freckles are so cute, and his hair is lovely. Well, just tell me why I should hate myself for this, Dee. Like, honestly, tell me why I should hate myself for this. Because I don't see it. Maybe when I watch more episodes, I know that, like, it turns out. Anyways, turns out he's bad.
Yes, he's very bad.
I thought she said turns out he's bi.
No, he's bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
My
I
God.
can see, if you're watching season 3 or 4, how you might find Tom's features symmetrical. I mean, and he's not especially repugnant.
I mean,
If you're like looking for a mate in the Neanderthal world, I mean, I guess he will do. But like as the seasons march on and he becomes more into himself, sniffing his own farts, becoming eclectic in the way that he dresses, and just like such a dolt.
yeah.
Such a dolt.
Yeah.
I mean, he becomes deeply unattractive. By
Yeah.
the time we get to him cheating with Raquel
Oh my God.
on Ariana, a veritable goddess.
For real.
He's so ugly to me.
He's so disgusting.
gross to me.
Yeah. I don't even see how he's attractive in general.
Well, but
Like,
you're a lesbian.
I know, but I can appreciate an attractive man, and I will
Right.
point it out. I'll be the first one to
Do you
point
think
it out.
Jax is attractive?
Oh, fuck no.
Tom Schwartz?
Schwartz is okay. He's kind of
James Kennedy?
I think James is okay.
Oh my
He's not like super handsome. I can see how people would think he's cool because he's a DJ and stuff, but like Sandoval, no. Maybe in like an alternative rocker way, like, oh my god, he's cool, he sings and stuff, and he plays guitar. Like,
Yeah,
girls are into that.
Yes.
And this is why she's anonymous, because she doesn't want people to know.
Truly.
Yeah.
Well, but Tom Sandoval is on this current season of Traitors.
What's
which
that?
is on, what do you mean, what's that? You got Peacock?
No, I don't.
You do have Peacock.
Well, I mean, I have it when we watch shows.
Oh,
on
okay. You don't have
Peacock.
Peacock right now. Oh, The Traitors is a show where they have to determine, it's a panel of people. It's a whole cast of people. They're D-list celebrities.
I love it.
Say there's 20 of them.
Okay.
3 of them are going to be deemed the traitors, and they're on the down low. Nobody knows who the traitors are, and the traitors have to eliminate everybody in order to win. And everybody else, and these are called the faithfuls, have to try and figure out who the traitors are.
Oh my god, what?
Yeah, and then out them and then eliminate them. Like
Okay.
on Survivor, they get voted off the
Yeah.
island. And so it's like, who gets to the very end? Is it a traitor? Is it a faithful?
Oh.
I watched the first season and it was very entertaining.
Huh.
This season has Tom Sandoval.
Ew.
He walks in and I think it's Nikki Bella and Chriselle are just like, don't even look at me. Cropping him out of photos.
That's
Like
awesome.
nobody wants to talk to him.
Good.
But he's still there. He's been there quite a while. I don't think he's a traitor. I think he's a faithful.
Ew.
And in this last challenge, I think in this last week, it was something about music and they were playing some song backwards, and I didn't watch, and so I could be butchering this, but they were playing, the clue was a song played backwards, and so Tom was really into it because I'm the only musician here.
Oh my god.
So let me listen to this song backwards, then I'm going to sing it forwards and I'm going to get it. And it was just like the entire time.
Was he singing?
Yeah. I mean, he was
Ew.
singing and he was listening to, it was just, that's Tom.
Ew.
How can your basement flood for a man like that? I don't know. Maybe it's me, honey. I mean, I don't know. I like me a big man.
Yeah, you
I
like a
me
big,
a
strong.
sturdy, strong lumberjack
Yeah.
Texan man. He's got cowboy boots and a machete, honey. He knows
Yeah.
how to pick up a car engine and he knows how to rock my boat.
Ew.
That's the kind of man I like. I look at Tom Sandoval and I think I would snap you like a twig.
Yeah, for sure.
First of all, because I would hate you.
yeah.
Second of all, because I'm 70 pounds heavier than you. Saying he's a small little wee man.
Yeah, for sure. He's well, I can't say that. It's gonna be too mean. I was gonna say
Let's go uncensored. Just go uncensored. And so back to the main pod now that you said your horrid shit that we had to censor. By the way, if you want to hear all of our uncensored stuff, you got to go to Patreon.
Yeah.
That's where we drop the uncensored videos. But yeah, Tom is just, he just doesn't do it for me. But like,
Yeah.
I don't want to yuck your yum.
Sure.
Anonymous from Toronto. If that's yummy to you, then I want that for you.
And I'm sure a lot of women think the same, and men, about Tom Sandoval and think that he's very attractive.
Sure.
But yeah, Anonymous from Canada, he gets way worse and he just becomes uglier and uglier, like in his personality and everything. And he wears skinny jeans and it's just, it's not cute.
And like leggings.
Yeah.
And stuff. No, I can't do it. I'm sorry.
But you know, we've had people who think Cody Brown's attractive too.
That's true.
So
There's somebody for everybody.
everyone,
Yes,
exactly.
somebody for everybody.
exactly.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you for the call, Anonymous.
Thank you. That was funny.
Again, I can see why you're anonymous.
Yeah.
Well, this was really fun. If you
Yeah.
guys want to give us a call or contact us, all you have to do is go to speakpipe.com/reality TV cringe. Again, you got 90 seconds to go off. It's absolutely free. And we love to hear from you. We cannot play all of the messages. We do get
It's so many.
lot. And
Yeah.
so Beatrice over here curates what we listen to. I have nothing to do with it. Don't be mad at me if you're calling in. It's
Don't
Beatrice.
be mad at me either.
Be mad
I
at
can only
her.
pick so many.
All right, is there anything else that we need to say to these beautiful raccoons before we get up on out of here, Beatrice?
Well, if you love our podcast, please go to your favorite podcast platform and leave us a glowing 5-star review. It really helps us grow the dumpster so we can get fatter and more raccoons can join us, and we really appreciate it. Thank you.
We will be back next week to talk Sister Sister Wives, again, we are in season 6. This is a crucial season. This is the season of My Sister Wives Closet.
Yeah.
This is the season of discontent, and we are here for it. These are the seasons running up to the catfish. We're going to get there too.
Can't
so
wait.
if you want to spend time with us as we rewind into the Sister Wives, come back next week for that. Until then, please do not forget that we have nothing but love for you, and peace out.
Bye.
Bye, guys.